Hi, welcome back to a brand new video of the Targeted Individual Program, the Unreal Experience. I wanted to do this video before I went to bed because not only they've been sending me subliminal message about me, like my brother and I being ambitious when we were younger, and their attempt to destroy our ambition and to control us and to get rid of us and using cognitive warfare, covert operation, covert psychological operation, weaponization of the people around us, representation of our minds, using technology to manipulate us, and so forth. And I was on Facebook, and there was a question posted on Facebook, and it says, which organization uh, would fall if the truth comes out? so I said, the church is number one, and then government. And why did I say that? Because the churches control the government. They control the people within the government. And if you know anything about secret societies, which I've also delved into in my research, most secret societies are Catholic based in terms of Roman Catholic and Catholicism based. Right? And so when you have presidents, you have those within the governments, particularly in Europe. Matter of fact, particularly in Europe, the Western world, and in Africa, the church has a big influence. Okay, and because of the lies, the manipulation, and deception being done by these people because of their belief system working within the church is number one. So if the truth ever comes out about the church, they'll be the first to fall, and then those within the government across the world. Okay. Now, also, I wanted to do this video to show you guys exactly how much money do these churches make. Okay, these churches are, in terms of their revenue each year, is bigger than some of these corporations. Okay, so I'm not. This is, you guys can find this online. It's this the church revenue. The website is. Let me see if I can. Where are we at here? Hold on. Let me just do this. Enterprise Apps Today. Okay, that's the website. Church Revenue Statistic 2024, the growth of religious charitable institutions. All right, I'm not going to read all this stuff, but let's say in the realm of church revenue statistics, several compelling figures highlight the financial landscape of religious organization in 2023. A significant insight revealed that religious congregation in the United States command a substantial annual revenue of approximately USD 74.5 billion. It's actually more than this, okay? This is further accentuated by the fact that faith-based organizations collectively contribute over USD 378 billion dollars annually to the U.S. economy, to a figure that rivals some of the largest tech companies combined. All right. So the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, the LDS, with its valuation around $100 billion to $200 billion, stands as the wealthiest church globally. Now, you would think the Catholic Church is the wealthiest, right? But no, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and you know, they're also part of the Catholic Church. Don't be fooled, okay? What the Catholic Church does is that it, just as Rome did in the past, where it infiltrate organizations, where it when people may branch off of Christianity, they have their representative. Sometimes it's these people who belong to the Catholic Church, and because they're good at infiltration, they will infiltrate companies, other religious groups, and control those groups. Okay. So around 200, around 100 billion to USD 200 billion stands as the wealthiest church globally. Despite its relatively smaller membership base, its financial assets underscore the substantial economic footprint of religious institution. On the other side of the spectrum, Scientology gathers around USD 500 million annually through various corporations and properties, highlighting the diverse revenue stream that different religious organization can tap into. All right, now I wanted to go down here. Let's see here. All right. Let's see. All right, the wealth of religious institution. Number one, Christianity is the world's wealthiest religion by far, so far. Okay, that's the AC. Let me shut it off a little bit. So the Catholic Church value at 30 billion. Still a lot of money. 30 billion. Okay. What else here? It says Jews contribute the highest income by religion in the United States. The latest church revenue statistic shows that the wealthiest people are the most educated ones as well. Hence, Jews are the most educated ones. Nearly 44% of them earn more than 100,000 per year. Only 24% of Jews in the U.S. earn between $50,000 and $999,000 annually. Scientology is around 500 million a year. Talk about the Church of Latter-day Saints. Again, so the estimated value is around. Well, it says it is valued at 100 billion. However, a whistleblower has revealed that the actual worth of the Mormon Church might be close to 200 million. So you see, they lie about how much money they take in each year, right? And again, these are the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So it's a Christian organization. Okay. Now, the majority of donations in the U.S. are given to religious organizations. Now, imagine this. People are struggling today, but yet they are giving these religious organizations their money. And these organizations taking billions of dollars. Right? The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, $200 billion. What are they doing with that money? The Catholic Church, $30 billion. What are they doing with that money? They sure as heck ain't using it for the betterment of Christians. Okay? All right, so Scientology. It says congregation in the U.S. earn a huge amount of money every year. The latest church revenue statistic shows that religious congregation in the U.S. get around $74.5 billion per year. Okay? Around 70 million American Christians visit the official websites of their churches regularly. Now listen to this now. Mosques, on the other hand, they earn their money from what? The mosques are not usually managed financially by their attendees. So the mosques, they're not trying to take money from you. Right? They're not trying to do that. Unlike these Christian churches, who receive billions of dollars, tens of billions of dollars, hundreds of billions of dollars. Okay, I want y'all to understand this. Okay, mosques are not usually managed financially by their attendees. They cover their expense via government grants or receive funding from wealthy patrons. Okay, so the mosques are not like these Christian churches who will lock you out of the church if you don't tithe, who will send you a bill about tithing, who will tell you you no longer belong to this church because you cannot afford to give that 10% of your income to that church. This is when I talk about particularly in the black church, how these churches, the black churches, is designed to take wealth away from black people, because just the black church alone brings in like 15 to 20 billion dollars a year. Okay, and that's the black church, right? And what are they doing with that money? All right, now listen to this. Now, faith-based business statistics. Now, churches also have businesses, right? Watch how, listen, see the amount of money, because I'm showing you guys this, that these faith-based businesses take in organizations, right? So, faith-based business statistics. Faith-based organizations in the U.S. earn more than $378 billion each year. Church revenue stats indicate that hospitals, food makers, schools, and musicians add more to the U.S. economy as compared to Facebook, Google, Apple collectively. So when I talk about the need for them to continue to lie, to continue to manipulate, continue to deceive, because church is a multi-billion-dollar business. Okay? So they need you to continue to believe. And I'm not saying church shouldn't have money. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is that these churches are taking in billions and billions of dollars every year. Yet they're not really doing anything for the poor, except for their little lunch and all of this stuff, right? When the church can invest in properties, apartment buildings, they can build housing, right? They can sell those houses. They can manage apartment buildings. They can create affordable housing, but they won't do it, right? Because they claim to always talk about Jesus, and Jesus said clothe the poor, Jesus said feed the poor, and all this stuff. So yeah, they may feed some of the poor, they may clothe some of the poor, right? But Jesus also said that a rich man has the chance of a rich man getting into heaven is like a thread going through the eye of a needle. But yet these pastors are beyond wealthy. They're driving fancy cars, wearing Rolex watches, all of this stuff. But they ignore what Jesus said in the Bible. They interpret the Bible how they want to interpret it. And have you, Christians, you indoctrinated Christians, continue to give them your money. They're designed to take money from you. And what are they doing with all that money? Where's all that money going? Where's all that money going? It sure as hell not going into the community. And I hope you guys hear the sirens there, because again, whenever I speak these kind of truth, they will use the sirens and so forth. Okay? They're not making your life better. They're feeding you lies. Those of you who are the very few that go to church that may have a good job, you may have a nice house, or have you, that's just a very few of you. All right? The vast majority of people that come into these churches are struggling. They may have houses and cars too. But they wanted to, if they get laid off, they get fired, they would not be able to keep their housing, keep their vehicles no longer than 6 months. All right? Church is a business. They're not in the business of saving your soul. That's the lie they tell you. They're in the business of wealth, of making themselves wealthy, making the pastors wealthy, the pastor's kids, his wife, his children, his family. All right, and if you're in a church that have a like other people who work within the church, deacons, what have you, they're also getting wealthy too. They're living in their nice house. They're driving their nice car. Their children are going to college. Your children are not going to college that is fully paid for. Their children are going to college that is fully paid for. Okay? You're struggling to put food on the table. They're not struggling. But you're giving them your money.